Good morning and welcome to, well, the final Monday in the month of August. Yes, this is Wake Up Nigeria for a work week starter edition.
Woohoo! Welcome, and what a fantastic way to start the week. I mean, a warm beverage in one hand while you're settled in your position for, exciting 2 hours of great breakfast television. What can I say?
Yes, well, welcome back. It's a brand new week. Everyone, we'll use this final few days of August to practice for the Ember month.
Wait, hang on a second.
Yeah.
You mean
Ember month.
that means
September.
we've got 1/3 of the year left. We're actually here. The final third of the year is actually upon us.
Yeah.
Now you have to ask yourself what you accomplished in the first, 2/3 of the year.
Well, I did accomplish a lot. I'm alive.
We always have these things at the beginning of the year. I'm going to do this, I'm going to jackpot.
And then you know how you tell yourself you're going to have this huge savings. And then you look
How's that going?
It's going well. It's going well. Subsidy well.
Then there's the dollar and the pound.
As in, so many factors all at once. But hey,
wow,
we can only be positive.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Remember to wake up with enthusiasm because that's what we have here. For a week ahead, we're going to keep it going all the way. Let's not forget to keep those messages coming in all through the show. And those shout-outs as well. We're here to always make sure that we receive them and also do our best to send them out for you.
Yes. Do not worry. Very soon, we're going to get back to reading your messages live on the show so you can be a full part of the Wake Up Nigeria show, all right? My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi.
And my name is Mazino Appeal. Together, we are your Monday morning starter pack, like I always say at the start of every Monday morning.
Well, don't forget to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and that's across all social media platforms, all right? Really want you to be a part of this show.
Yes, indeed. Now, if you're watching from anywhere in the world, don't worry, or if you're in any part of the world, we've got you covered because you can do it live on our app. Available for download on Google Play Store and on the iOS Store as well.
All right, and of course, for our wonderful, always loyal Nigerian audience, you can watch us on GOTV channel 16 or UHF band 49. That's so we can always brighten up your Monday mornings as well.
Have you connected with us on social media? It's at TVC Connect across all platforms.
Easy peasy.
Join the positive community.
Indeed. All right, buckle up because today is going to be a thrilling ride. And remember, it all starts with that Monday positivity. Let's get the show rolling.
Yes. So, coming up on today's exciting show,
for a stellar performance, Gloria Nnam, a Nigerian singer with a degree from the Birmingham University and a master's degree from Middlesex University, will be on the show today to thrill us with a performance.
Joining us for motivation would be Olabisi Olugbenga Akande, the Inspirer is what he's called. Well, he's been called to inspire individuals to do more so they can live and lead better. He's a certified speaker trainer and also coach. And of course, today he'll be showing us all of those expertise for our motivation segment.
On our SME segment, Kemi Lewis is a natural hair expert, business development manager, and legal personnel with over 2 decades of experience working across several industries. Today, she'll be telling us all about her hair business.
All right, good morning and welcome.
Morning.
As I'm surrounded by these floral ladies.
Oh,
Nice.
hey, Mazzino.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
We sunk.
Really? What is going on? A lot of cliches this morning.
Good to have you. Nice hair, beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I was thinking over the weekend while I was having my hair cut, you came to mind. I had to make sure that it was the right shape so that she doesn't yab me this morning.
Wow.
Because
Yeah, so, I don't know, in my house, for some reason, they used to say, one lock for me from Baba. I don't know how they went to go and fetch water for the Baba.
Oh.
Yeah, like maybe if you fetch water for the Baba, he will barb your hair for free.
Yeah.
Really? Which is, by the way, during my NYSC, I actually bobbed hair.
Really? Seriously?
It was a talent I didn't know I had. Okay, I'll do it.
Goodness me.
And like
How much are you getting paid?
I remember back then, it must have been 100 naira or
100 naira, yeah.
Wow.
We're talking many years ago.
No, that's another skill you could fall back on.
Yeah, so you wouldn't say I had another job, would you?
No.
Not even allowed.
No, it's actually a skill. So the thing is, like when Mazino is relocating,
Narf.
I'm just saying, you
Really?
might want
Nigerian
to.
to the core.
So,
You will
well,
find a way to
There's
make
something about
ends
having
meet.
a skill.
Yeah.
So there are people who have traveled and they said their biggest regrets was not learning at
A
least
skill.
one skill.
Yeah.
So you already have that skill, and barbering is not cheap.
£1
not.
for hair. By the
No,
way,
it's
£1
not.
K.
if you're talking about me being a barber at NYC, what about that minister, Hannatu Masawa, Minister of Arts and Culture, who's actually serving a serving NYC corps member,
Yeah.
and also a minister.
Yeah.
Trended all through the weekend.
Yeah, the NYSC said they would look into it, so we're waiting to see how that will go, because there's actually part of the rules states that you can only, for that period, work for the government, work for the government as a corper.
Guess what
As
she
a
said?
corper.
Yeah,
Okay.
She says it doesn't contravene anything. She's within her rights to actually work and also serve. She actually confirmed that she's serving, yes, and that there's no problem with her being a minister. So I'm wondering,
Well, the thing is, there must have been some extensive research done before she was appointed.
I want to believe.
Or even nominated, rather. You
I
know,
would like
I'm
to
just
think that they
saying.
actually skipped a few details.
No, I don't
see,
think
the
so.
thing is, as a corper, you are serving the government, right?
Yeah, you are.
So I'm looking at it that, okay, maybe instead of serving in a ministry, she's serving as the minister. Maybe that's a way to look at it. Because as a corper, of course, you will serve in the ministry, but she is serving as the minister.
All right.
I feel like there's a lot more to, figure out about that. Yeah.
And you're welcome. It's time for the news for a Monday. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now we begin with the warning from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, alerting the National Emergency Management Agency over impending flooding along the River Benue Basin. This was communicated through a letter signed by Umar Salisu, the Minister's Director of African Affairs, dated August 21st. The letter said the Cameroonian government plans
The months
to
of
open...
July to October are considered the periods of heavy rainfall, flooding, and flood-related disasters. This year, it is no different, especially with the discovery by the Hydrological Services Agency of an increase in the volume of flow level to 8.9 meters compared to a flow level of 8.80 meters at the same period in 2022 along the River Benue system. The Ministers of Water Resources and Sanitation are both here to give an update on this recent situation, as they both highlight the need for states and local governments to take necessary precautions through the deployment of appropriate measures.
It is imperative of all levels of government, be at federal, state, and local, to heighten the level of preparedness and deploy appropriate measures to minimize the potential impact of flooding during the peak of the rainy season. States and local governments should intensify efforts in clearing blocked drainages and also construct new ones where they do not exist.
They, however, reveal that there is no threat to lives and properties, especially for the state's neighboring rivers Niger and Benue.
Flow level on the River Niger system remains stable, with the level of the River Niger at Yemen, Niger Republic, standing at a normal level of 4.3 meters. Reports from inland dams, including Kanji, Jeba, Shirolu, also indicate a consistent flow regime. Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has, however, maintained a professional and organizational relationship with Cameroon's national hydrological systems.
Despite the heightened flow volume along the River Benue system, the flow situation at the confluence of the Niger and Benue rivers in Lokoja, Kogi State have been discovered to remain stable, with a decrease in flow level of 7.80 meters compared to 8.24 meters in 2022. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, outside Nigeria, Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin has been confirmed dead after genetic analysis of bodies found on Wednesday's plane crash. Investigators in Russia retrieved black boxes from the crash site of the plane that killed the Wagner chief and 9 others. Russia's aviation agency had previously published the names of the 10 people on board the private jet which crashed, which have now been officially confirmed by Russia's investigative committee. According to its results, the identities of the 10 deceased have been established and they correspond to the list published in the flight manifest. The victims include several senior figures in the Russian mercenary group Wagner and involved in military operations in Ukraine, Syria, and parts of Africa. Let's take a break now and get on with more Wake Up Nigeria. Check this out. We're just looking at a video, very disturbing video, and that's what we're about to talk about for What's Up and About. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. How you doing?
So there's a video making rounds on social media of a young man that's retrieving tubers of yam from a god-awful gutter. Now, the story goes that he actually stored these inside of the gutter and was caught and was asked to retrieve all of them for evidence. And
Wait.
it's not the first time we've seen this before.
When you say stored, he wasn't just
them there.
stored. That means they were there for. They weren't just
Must
there
be
for.
at least since the night before, at least.
Goodness me.
Now, you go to the market all the time. Yam is what? 5,000 naira a tuber now?
Well,
It depends.
depends on the
like
market.
Those sizes, maybe between 2,000 to 3,500.
Do you ever get worried for what you're consuming, what you're putting inside your bodies, these products and everything? There's so much happening in the country, first of all. There's no light to store anything. Someone was talking this morning about his wife no longer buying frozen chicken.
Yeah.
Because some of the preservatives for those things, in the long run, are carcinogenic because they cause cancer. There was also a video from 2 years ago of a guy retrieving mango from a gutter on the island.
Yeah.
There was also a video of a group of people using insecticide, not just insecticide, the one that kills,
Yeah.
on
Beans.
beans.
Yeah.
So
Kill weevils.
kill the weevils, but then you also eat it at the end of the day.
course.
So it makes me really paranoid and
So
worried.
you know the chicken part. I actually took my time meticulously to start buying Nigerian chicken some years back. But then they became scarce and more expensive. Then at some point, they now seem to be sold in many shops. With time, they got phased out in those shops. And so when you go there, you ask for Nigerian chicken. They'll say, no Nigerian chicken, but there's
What's the
soft
difference?
chicken. So
It's big,
Nigerian
robust
chicken
ones,
is, no, there's orobo. So there's orobo. Then there's local chicken.
Yeah.
Then there's soft chicken. Then there's Nigerian agric
I
chicken.
did not know all this.
Ah, bro.
Yeah.
I
You
found
have
out
to know.
They all taste different.
So-
about
funny enough.
Nigerian chicken, and
Yeah.
that's what we've been eating
Yeah.
recently, because I can't, I feel nausea when I eat the orobo or the other.
Most
Yeah.
times, you won't know the difference.
No, I know.
You know why? Let me tell you the one you won't know the difference between soft chicken and Nigerian chicken.
Really.
Most times you won't know the difference, especially if it's well cooked.
But
But you see orobo or Nigeria, like proper local chicken, you will know the difference. Because local chicken is that one that when you want to eat it, you are going
So
to
now,
battle.
so now it actually now depends on which vendors you choose. At this point, we have some really great Nigerian brands that have come together to at least set up their farms, and you see evidence of what their owners are doing. And like, so you see videos of the eggs, the actual chicken production and everything. There's a particular brand I know of that sells it by the sack. You know, there's some other really trusted older brands that have 3 letters in front of
obviously,
them.
Titi, you're very high end.
So
go
no.
shopping at the mall,
The
don't
issue
you?
now, that's the thing. I don't even go shopping at the mall all the time. But the thing is, it's the places where I can trust the source that I go to. Why would he be dunking yam in the gutter?
There's a science behind
I
it,
go,
however. Let
yes,
me
but then
explain that science, huh?
what about those who carry meat on their heads, those that actually sell locally by the streets, and people buy on a
Actually,
daily
trust those
basis?
ones better.
Really?
Yeah. No preservatives.
come on.
Was killed this morning. I'm gonna have that one instead. I'm not gonna let you tell me it's 2 days ago we had to preserve it. Where did you preserve it? Well,
Martino, that one you said about meat. Sometimes the meat you see by the roadside.
It's not.
3 days.
Yes.
not the roadside. I
You
go
will
to
know.
the market.
Hell, let's
No.
go to the market. You go to the abattoir. But if you are buying from your local market,
Here's the science
might not
behind
be
it, however.
the same.
They say, scientists, it might not be all that bad for you because when you in the olden days, cavemen would actually kill product or game, and they would put it inside of water. If
Yeah.
you put it inside of water, you actually slow down the decay process. Guess what? And this is where it gets really gross.
Ew,
if you
gosh.
put it inside of a bug, which is dirty water, like what we saw in the video,
Kills the
it
oxygen.
preserves it even longer because there is a
gosh.
lot of oxygen inside of the water, and the oxygen is actually what causes decay.
Oh,
If you take that element away, you're preserving it. So that's the science. I'm not espousing to
No.
it being consumed like we see it here in this video.
You
I mean,
know-
they must definitely have had a better what's
So-
called system.
This thing you said also reminds me
we
of
do
how
these
we
days.
preserve this salad meat. You put salt in it. I like
Salt.
you
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
lot of
But salting is an actual
Yes,
preservation.
but it doesn't stop the fact that oftentimes you see some things trying to come out, but the salt is actually supposed to preserve it.
But the
now,
maggots,
my,
that's
my,
protein.
my issue with my issue with all of these is the choice of preservatives. Another issue I have is plantain.
Oh, wow.
So what many market people do is they're selling plantain by the bunch. Now, because they need to speed up the process of the ripening, they put it in ashes and all that. And that's not even healthy, according to what I was
Carbon.
told. Yes, because of the carbon.
Yeah.
So it makes it ripen faster, but it's not even healthy.
Really?
So when you go to the market, you want to buy plantain. If the plantain is ripe, you start thinking twice. How did they get this thing ripe so fast? Especially if it's your regular vendor. You saw it green yesterday. You come today, the thing don't ripe past
If you see the stalk, the full stalk, usually the plantain is still feeding off that long stalk for at least 3 weeks.
Yeah.
True.
Plantain can last
So
on
when you
that.
buy it like that,
Yeah.
it's
So
very
that I trust. So if I see that the stalk is thinning out, that's when you know it's truly ripe.
But now that you're going into the
Yeah.
methods with which to know what to
Yeah,
buy,
yeah.
how do you safeguard yourself against like other products like yam or fruits?
So
'Cause
in
you
the
don't
end,
know how
I feel like
and often there are local traders who are selling these, so their methods would definitely be
there's a lot of
good.
ignorance out there, in my opinion. There's a lot of ignorance out there, and I don't think we can actually blame every single vendor, because it's possible they don't understand the extent or the actual implications of what they're doing. Can we figure out if we can get the community of market traders to have trainings on food safety,
That's a good one.
food security, go to the markets and actually talk to people in their local tongue
an awareness
and
campaign.
explain to them what exactly is happening when they do this, 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 and this. So
you know,
they
funny
also
thing
have
about
a
them-
choice.
Some of them actually know. But these are
economy is
ways
what's pushing them
they
to
cut
do these
corners.
things.
In fact,
Yeah.
before the economy got to this point, they've always done it.
Yeah.
These are ways to cut corners. Look at fufu, for example. There are
Oh,
people
wow.
who will not eat fufu outside because of certain things that are added to it.
What could be added to fufu?
Bro,
No.
I don't want to go down that road because I don't. You just hear me go.
But fufu
"Ah,
lasts
you
for
guys."
a long
Like,
time. You
what?
can do fufu.
National
There can be
heritage
fufu of
Don't
3
touch the
months.
fufu.
Fufu of 3 months I've had in the fridge before. I didn't realize how
In
long
the
I've been there.
fridge.
I will
In
let
the
you know,
fridge.
however,
Yes.
Be
In the
careful
fridge.
how you store fufu, even
Ah,
in the fridge.
well,
If you wrap it with nylon, sorry, let me get that up
Don't
for
worry,
you.
don't worry.
If you wrap that up with nylon, you actually stand the risk of having the fufu absorb
The plastic.
elements from the plastic.
Plastic,
Yeah.
It does that very well. Fufu,
Quickly.
I don't know why. It just you will taste the nylon
Yes.
in it. So just be careful how you store that.
Or more. 3 months later, fufu tastes just as good as today fufu, man.
If you have,
Please in the
if
fridge.
I'm
there's-
serious.
if we actually freeze things well, because
Yeah.
of electricity supply, that's another
That's
problem.
another thing.
If people can store things, it's easier to buy in bulk and keep it. Like buy chickens in bulk. You can buy 20 chickens if you can afford it. Have them cut up. Put
Just
it in your
reminded me of
freezer.
something.
But these days, how many people can actually afford to buy things in bulk? And then when you even buy in bulk again, to preserve it properly, because you have to be running generator. Generator, like...
There has
In
to
this
be some form of trainings, awareness about food safety and food security. The Standards Organization of Nigeria should get on that, in my opinion.
I think we'll
and
we'll
yeah,
leave on
hopefully.
that. That's a very good way.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for that advice. I think it's something you should get on. Maybe start.
I probably
a movement.
will.
Yeah.
I probably will.
Tell us what
Especially
you
for
think when you
those that
saw the
still
video.
drink pure water inside nylon.
Yeah. Tell us what you think. What you thought about the video. Use the hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC.
It's not better than bottled water. We'll be back in a bit.
Let's go. We are in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. Chef Jide in the building.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now you look so comfortable in our kitchen already. Like you're just chilling, like ready, you're raring to go.
It's like putting Messi in the football field.
Okay.
Understand, so-
Messi in the football field.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's-
Okay. Let's go. So Messi in the building?
No, it's Chef Jide.
Jide in the building? Okay, let's go there. What are we making today, Chef Jide?
Yeah, we're making something very different. A back kebab.
Wait.
Okay.
Kebab, I
Yeah,
understand.
okay.
Eba, I understand.
Yeah.
But eba kebab just throws me off.
People are getting tired of this regular continental dishes.
Okay.
So we are doing more infusion right now. We're trying to. Okay, like everybody does eba gari with eba water.
Yeah.
We're going to try with gari with something else entirely.
All right.
Yes, I'm going to serve it with sweet chili sauce.
You know what? Let's go over these ingredients.
All right.
Eba kebab needs a lot of ingredients that usually don't go together.
Yeah.
Now, I'm seeing sausage here,
Yeah.
gari, or let's say cassava flakes, sugar. What's this?
Cornstarch.
Cornstarch, okay. I'm seeing garlic.
Yeah.
Garlic and bananas. Okay. Now, what's this? Parsley?
Parsley, yeah.
Parsley, pepper,
Yeah, pepper, chili.
and onions,
Bell pepper, onions.
and some sweet
oil,
bell peppers.
vinegar, and vegetable oil.
Sesame oil, vinegar, and vegetable oil. What's this?
Milk.
Milk, powdered milk.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this combination is really, it's just, I don't know, it's out of this world. But what utensils do I need? I need a deep dish.
You're going to make like you're making a bar.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Before you do that, you have to stir fry your sausages,
Okay.
fine diced with your veggies. Then by the time you're turning the bar, you mix it, put it in and
You know what? I'm going to hand you the chopping board so you can get started. What's the first thing we need to do for this eba kebab?
I need to put this my other
Hot dog?
fry pan on.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do whatever you want to get started with, because I know people at home are wondering what on earth is this chef talking about today. I myself, I really would like to learn what this is about. You're getting all gloved up, I can
I need
see.
to do this. So.
Yeah, so we have bananas here, we have parsley here, sweet bell peppers, that's green and red. We have chili, onions. We also have sausage, milk.
Okay.
We have gari, sugar, and cornstarch, all here. Wow, incredible. So the chicken franks, or let's say sausages, are going straight in the pan, straight up. Now I've noted that there's no oil in there. So what are we doing?
Add some water to this.
You want to put some water in there? Okay, all right, sure. But while we're waiting on that water, what else should we look out for?
I'm going to fine dice this.
Okay, the bananas?
Yes, please.
All right, go ahead, go ahead. It's so interesting. We talked a bit about banana today. Well, we talked about plantain, you know. Sorry, I love the way these are sizzling
Okay.
in here. Reminds me of how the hot dogs roll in the cinema.
Trying to get this ready.
Okay. Woo! Great. So we're putting some water to boil. Is this enough water?
That is fine.
This is okay? All right. Fantastic. So we have about 1.5 cups of water in there. And that water is for the gari, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So these bananas have reached a certain level of ripeness.
Yes.
They're
I need
not...
the right one so that
Go
I
ahead.
can get the sweetness from it.
All right. And then you bring out the garlic immediately. I'm like, wow, banana and garlic. Let me see what's going to happen here.
Here we here. Let me get this up and do it so I can properly touch.
Okay, So now Chef Jide is making eba kebab here.
Yeah.
And what he's doing so far is heating the chicken franks. We're going to dice that too, yes?
I'm gonna do that.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so yes, as we put these bananas to the knife, we are going to be heading over to the sofa. I know you want to see what this is going to look like later on, so I know you're going to be back with us in the kitchen very soon. But for now, it's over to you, Mazzino.
Well, thank you very much, Titi, but I don't know, did I hear right or was something in my ear? Did you say eba kebab?
Yes, so
Mary, did you hear eba kebab?
that is what I said,
Bro,
eba kebab.
We're having eba kebab with chili sauce.
Well, I'm very interested in this
Very,
one.
I'm
Please,
curious.
So please, Chef, make sure that one's just put apart for me. All right, so welcome. Let's do the papers this morning for a Monday. It's the final Monday in the month of August. Let's find out what the first 2/3 of the year has had in store for us and what we should be looking forward to. Mary, of course, is joining me for the paper review.
Absolutely.
So, Mary, I'm going to be starting from the Punch newspaper this
Okay.
morning, and we have the big headline: Cameroon dam opening. Evacuate to prevent deaths, FG says. Warn flood-prone communities. NEMA advises governors on evacuation. Nasarawa, Taraba set up IDP camps. Others. Anambra orders evacuation in affected areas. Flood sweeps away 2 children. So it's already begun. I'll come back to that. Let me take the other headlines for the paper. Servicing debt with 90% revenue path to destruction, Tinubu tells NBA. And banks, 18 others, fined 125 million naira for late filings. Senators aid, murder cases take time to resolve, police reply family. And I am loyal to Obaseki, still want to be governor, says Shaibu. Now let's go back to the big headline for the Punch newspaper about the flood and the dam being reopened in Cameroon. Now, note I said reopened. This might be about the 3rd time that this is happening, and it seems to be an annual thing. I come from Ideze in Delta State. Ideze is a small community, linear community in Erie, and it's also prone to flooding. And I think more than just 3 times this has happened, and it's really, really bad. Now, these people have established their lives in these places, and when I see the pictures that come back, they're very, very heartbreaking. I do not know whether the amount of times that we've had this instance has been enough for the government to put measures in place to help perhaps redirect or in some way help these communities that suffer. I don't know if enough has been done, is what I'm saying, and it really is a very sad situation.
It is sad. It's really sad because it is not a natural disaster. One can say, okay, maybe all these wildfires that some countries experience, yes, they are likely to happen, but at the same time, they trigger and that's it. But in the case of the dams, I find it worrisome that a solution hasn't been found. When I saw Cameroon Dam this morning, my first thought was, again, because we know how much of an opera that cost just last year, same as the year before.
Funny thing is, in their case, this is to help circumvent certain issues on their side. So that means they've taken care of their conditions.
Yes.
Here in Nigeria, what's kept us so long? Why haven't we had apparatus in place? I commend the government for actually putting together IDP camps and all of this and everything, but for me, it still seems like, okay, we'll just put up these IDP camps. Of course, you know what goes into IDP camps. Somebody's definitely making money out of it.
Exactly.
You know,
people are not feeding as well as they should, and the quality of life. And let's not forget again, that means more farmers out of the farm.
Exactly.
Which of course will affect. So the ripple effects are actually huge.
All right, let's move on now. We move on to the Daily Trust, which you have, Mary.
Okay, the Daily Trust newspaper has this. Massive flood looms in states as Cameroon plans to open dam. Adamawa, Taraba, Kogi, Benue, Nasarawa, Plateau, others at risk. Water volume higher than last year's.
Wow.
That's coming from the minister. NEMA tells residents to relocate.
To where?
Here we also have Atiku to Tinubu. Tell Nigerians how you got degree without primary and secondary education. Katsina, rising bandits attacks worry residents. LG tussle. Plateau Council workers commence indefinite strike over fears of attacks. Here we also have the semi-big one here. Intrigues, controversies over Nigeria's foreign reserves. Why did CBN borrow $15 billion? Import capacity under threat. Up here, we also have no more debt servicing with scarce revenue. That's coming from the president. And oil theft, militants, pirates flee as NAF airstrikes hit camps. Finally, NSCIA, CAN unveil code of conduct for clerics, say Nigeria not battleground. Okay, so the one people have been really talking about is this issue of the foreign reserve.
Yep.
It's actually been trending with people saying, how can our foreign reserve be that low and all? Well,
it's simple. Nigeria is not producing anything lately. And it's been a problem for 10 years now, when all that we produced from before that was simply just oil. We totally forgot about agriculture. Whatever happened to the ground-up pyramids of the north? It was such spectacle to see when I was a kid. I never saw them, I saw them in videos. Nothing like that ever exists, and they were such marvelous, like 8 wonders of the world type, what's it called? But currently we have nothing else. Not even the oil is even doing us any good. So you can't expect that we'll have any foreign reserve, tangible foreign reserve.
Someone was talking about, she's in Korea, and she was talking about how it's 1,000 naira to 1,700 Korean won.
Wow.
And the fact is, their lifestyle, the quality of life there is a whole lot better. And so you would even think the exchange rate should be like through the roof. I think we are too dollarized as a nation. Dollarized and poundrized, if there's any such word. And that's a major problem.
Yeah,
that's a major problem. We calculate everything based on dollar, forgetting that Naira is our currency, and we should be looking to strengthen it.
I wanted to jump on that, but we have little time, so I'm going to move to our final paper. The Daily Sun this morning has these headlines. Maybe some of them might be similar. Again, Atiku raises issues over Tinubu's varsity degree, says he's wondering how President got varsity degree, allegedly without primary and secondary education. At the top, FG insists on December takeoff date for PH refinery. Woohoo. And at the bottom, Ohaneze asks Tinubu to free Kanu, rolls out plans to honor past heroes. To the side of the photo story here, all theft pipeline protection, FG Lords sustains Tantita partnership, and FG abandons 16 billion Boeing 737 training simulator in Zaria. That's a lot of money being abandoned there. Sarab gives President 48 hours to reverse ban on Vanguard Galaxy TV, 28 others from Villa, and suspense in Benue as Alia Uba awaits gubernatorial tribunal judgment. And finally, crisis looms over planned resumption of APC elected LG chairman in Plateau State. So these are the headlines that you will be finding this morning. If you were to pick any of the dailies, do let us know. If you have an observation, use the hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC. Thank you very much once again.
Absolutely, my pleasure. You forgot to mention the highlights for me, though. Federal government is insisting on December takeoff date for Port Harcourt refinery.
Oh, I
That's
did
on
mention
the daily.
that.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
And then I embellished it with woohoo.
Woohoo! Because it's worth it. It's
It is
actually worth celebrating. Fingers crossed and hoping for the
Fingers crossed indeed. Thank you very much, Mary. All right, do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
What is cooking is certainly amazing, and Chef Jide is doing things that I don't think I've seen done this way in a very long time. We are making eba kebab, if you can believe it, everyone. And in case you were wondering what sort of ingredients we're using, we have bananas presently diced, nicely diced. We have red and green peppers. We have some parsley already diced, some heated sausages right now. Should we call them chicken franks? Some chili. We also have cornstarch. We have sugar. We have gari, or that's a cassava flakes. We have some powdered milk as well as onions. And then the sauces. Okay, we have vinegar. Yep. We have sesame oil as well as vegetable oil. Chef Jide, what are we doing now?
Yeah, no, we'll start preparing the eba right now.
Okay, go ahead. You're preparing the eba.
Yes.
So this is normal. Hold on 1 second. Let's put this up here so that everybody can see it. You're pouring hot water into banana. Hot water into banana. That is what I'm seeing Chef Jide do right now. I am. Wait, hold on. Let's talk about this. Hot water and banana. Yeah. We are actually trying to see what happens when you pour hot water over banana. So the banana was diced in there. Now you can put the gari in there directly with the banana in there. Okay. Interesting. All right.
Why doing that?
Okay. So he's adding the diced sausage, the diced green pepper, the diced chili, all in, as well as the diced parsley. Wow. This is an interesting combination. And you're trying to tell me that this is gari under there?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. This is what my mother would call concussion.
It's not a concussion.
What? It's not a concussion.
It's actually a good diet because you have a protein, you have carbohydrates, you have a fat and oil.
Wow.
It's a good diet.
Now this I would actually love to try out. I am in awe of what you're doing right now. I actually was wondering how you plan to do it.
Okay.
Banana, sausage, chili pepper, red and green pepper, parsley in there as well.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it, I'm making on my bar.
Yes. And you're just turning it in.
Yeah.
Okay. So the water was hot, very, very hot, straight from the heat, the same way you would do it for normal eba. But is there any other method of mixing this?
This is the best method. So you can incorporate those stuff, your dyed stuff into it.
Okay.
But you made the eba already, you find it difficult to add those things into them.
Okay, okay. So right now, you're saying if I had the eba down,
Yeah.
I couldn't really achieve this mix.
Yes.
Okay, all right, no problem. It doesn't actually look that bad to me. It doesn't look bad at all. It's colorful. I know what's in there. Even if I was worried about any of the ingredients being a little bit raw, it would have been the sausage, but you heated the sausage ahead. So that's cooked as well. So make sure you cook the sausage in. All right.
A little bit of
So sesame oil.
flavor.
For flavor. Okay. There's a lot of flavor in there already, chef. Okay. All right. Now I think I've seen everything in this kitchen.
The idea is the banana will give it the sweet, instead of adding sugar,
Yeah.
so the banana will give it the sugar we need in it.
Okay. But you still have sugar here on display.
That's for the chili sauce.
Okay. Sweet chili sauce.
Yes.
That's going to have some sugar
It's
in it.
ready right now.
So if you've ever been wondering how to get your kids to eat vegetables, try this. Dice some sweet peppers and chili pepper directly into the gari and see if they can resist eating their vegetables this way. Chef Jide, we are in awe of you right now. We have to take a quick break. We will be back to see what happens next on this eba kebab journey. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Watch all about it. This one is not read.
Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome again. Second hour here. Now, we hope that you guys are still in the mood for some, more Monday morning pump up, because we've got another hour packed just for you guys.
Yes, you heard it right. Today's show, well, let's just put it as this. Today is a day of limitless possibilities. And excitement too.
Yeah, it's been very exciting.
I can't explain why I'm excited right now.
It's the Mazzino effect.
Let's just... I don't want to be homeless. We're ready to infuse your morning with energy that will last all week long, we promise.
We absolutely hope that you have this energy right here in the studio, because we put so much work into it, and it's no pretense, it's actually real. We love it. So strap in, folks. Get ready to blast off into an adventure of inspiration and joy. Wake Up Nigeria is here to ignite that spark within you.
And guess what? We've still got a stellar lineup of special guests who are ready to share their success stories and spread their positive vibes on the show this morning.
Yes, so I guess we're not done yet. Yeah, especially inside the kitchen where we're getting ready that eba kebab.
Eba kebab.
How far?
You know what?
How's that going?
Chef, you need to roll one of those kebabs for us right now, right here. We need to see it. Let's do this now.
I'm going to get the oil. Because I'm going to put it directly into the oil.
Oh, okay. All right. So you want to put it directly into the oil?
Oil, yes, please.
All right. So the sausages are coming off the heat. You want to put the oil in now?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it now.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. So do you need it really hot or just a little hot?
Really hot.
Really hot. Okay. Got you. That's the hottest. That's the hottest. So while he's putting that oil into the pan, let me just tell you, if in case you missed it, this is gari, hot water, banana, red pepper, green pepper, chili flakes, and there's one thing I'm missing, parsley. Parsley all in here. And it was turned the same way you turn eba. That is how it was turned earlier on. And it looks really interesting. No, I didn't mention the sausage in there, did I? Yeah, so if you're looking for a way to get your kids to eat vegetables, that might be the way. Chef Jide is really blowing our minds with this. What can we roll now, Chef Jide? What can we roll right now?
This too.
What do you want to
I
do?
want the oil hot first. So
Okay.
I can put it directly into there.
You want to, okay, just show us with the spoon. Just show us with the spoon. All right, just show us with the spoon. Let's just see what we're talking about. All right. Okay. So you're spooning it into...
You're going to come like a ball.
Okay. And then you deep fry it directly
Yeah.
into the oil.
Oil.
Oh,
I put
now
that
I
on
get it.
skewer.
Ah, now I get it. Okay, making sense. We are gonna have fried eba in the building. This I never thought I would see coming. All right, so how do we find out if the oil is hot enough?
Yeah,
Onions? Is that it?
We're not making enough noise, so it's not hot enough.
It's not hot enough. Okay, all right. We still have some sausage there and the garlic, and there's still water boiling for the sauce.
Chili.
Sweet chili sauce is also coming your way. Guys, are you trying this at home? Probably not. But if you are, I think you're very brave and would love to see a video of it. Just use our hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC. Can you do it like Chef Jide can? Let's find out.
Maybe.
Mazino, it's all yours.
I don't know, is there ogbono soup or something there? Because
Mazino, I'm in a state of, I don't know, I have a lot of things running through my head. I never thought in my lifetime I would see fried eba.
Deep fried eba.
where is the ogbono soup?
Deep fried eba.
oil.
It's going
Like
into
this
the oil. Just dunk one in the oil right now, Chef Jide. Just put one in the oil right now.
Okay.
Right now. Just give it to us. Now, right now, so that people can see that we are not lying.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yes,
Mazino.
I've seen it all. I have officially seen it all. Did I mention there's banana inside? There is. This is gonna taste interesting, don't you think? All right, guys, go on with the show. I know it's a showstopper, but we can't stop here. The show must go on.
My name is Mazino Appeal.
My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi. We are still stunned by what we've seen today.
I
but
want to try it. I'm going to try it. I'm so intrigued.
I'm very
everyone.
adventurous with food, but
indeed.
this morning I'm going to be very, very adventurous. So, but let's tell you what we have in store for you today. Keeping in mind that you can follow us at TVC Connect, hashtag WakeupNigeria on TVC. And if you want to catch up on everything that's happened in the kitchen today, you can watch it on YouTube. Okay, that's find us TVC Entertainment on YouTube.
We're live, Channel 16 GOTV, and 49 UHF Band. Now, for the rest of the show, for a stellar performance, Gloria Nam is a Nigerian singer with a degree from the Birmingham University and also a master's from Middlesex University. Her music, very, very interesting. She's got one called Yati Ya, which I'm hoping she's going to be performing for us today. It's brand new, by the way.
Not bad. Now, joining us for motivation would be Olabisi Olugbenga Akonde, the inspirer, called to inspire individuals to be more. Today, we'll be having that conversation with him. Of course, motivating ourselves for the new week.
On SME, we have Kemi Lewis. She is a natural hair expert, business development manager, and legal personnel with over 2 decades of experience working across several industries. Now, she holds a diploma in hairdressing from Opal Benson Beauty Training Institute and an international certification from L'Oreal. She's the founder and creative director of KL's Natural Beauty Bar, Nigeria's pioneer natural hair hub. She joins us today to talk about her efforts in the industry and perhaps maybe give you an idea of how you could get on your way as well.
All right.
Welcome back.
Indeed.
Yes, we are.
You were telling me this morning about that
dog.
family in Iran who wheeled their entire...
So, no, be calming down. They were arrested for doing something that people do all the time.
What?
You have hairs that, you know, inherit you.
Yeah.
And so they don't have any children.
Okay.
And so they asked their property broker to write out their property documents to their dog.
Their dog.
Yes. So
Okay.
the dog is supposed to inherit their, their house,
entire wealth.
everything. Yeah.
So why did they get arrested then?
The country said what?
It's against the law. Apparently, is it a religious thing or just...
It's probably against the law in some countries to not,
But how, I don't want to say how selfish.
I do not think there's a law against it because most times laws come as a result of when things have happened and they're
It's
like, don't
probably
even
happened
think of
before.
it.
I've heard of royal families who have bloodlines of dogs.
of animals.
Yes.
Cats,
Horses,
dogs, yeah.
dogs, cats.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't love person
Yes.
rich now.
No, but the thing is, these animals are kept in the most
I take that back.
pristine of environments.
I take that back. We had an instance from yesterday. My dog limps back into the house.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, what happened to Fluffy?
Okay.
And then my wife says, perhaps somebody did something to him. And this is a dog whom I'm always angry at, always kicking. Well,
Yeah.
Not really, but always like,
Wow.
get off the rug.
Okay.
My daughter thinks I hate him. And I thought so too until yesterday when he limped in. And then I was like, who what the?
Who touched my dog?
And I stormed outside to the gate man. What happened to my dog? He said, it's not Oga, not been me and Hogasu and so.
Oh, wow.
But when I walked back in, I realized that I actually love that dog.
Oh. See, dog lovers can only understand this. You love your dog so much. You want to ensure that when you're gone, the dog is being well taken care of.
Yes.
Well
when the
done,
dog has
Exactly.
children, the children too are also taken care of by the way they are popping.
And the bloodline.
You know, the bloodline continues, they flourish.
Please.
Exactly.
Can we do
Yes.
the weather before
Yeah.
somebody's going to wheel this show to some...
We need a Wake Up Nigeria dog.
Yeah.
Welcome back, second hour here for Wake Up Nigeria. Let's do the news once again. My name is Mazino Appeal. We start once again with the warning from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs alerting the National Emergency Management Agency over impending flooding along the River Benue Basin. Now, this was communicated through a letter signed by Umar Salisu, the Minister's Director of African Affairs, dated August 21st. The letter said the Cameroonian government plans the opening of the floodgates of the Lagdo Dam on the Benue River in days ahead. It noted that this is due to the heavy rainfall around the dam, the catchment of the dam area in northern Cameroon. And outside Nigeria, Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin has been confirmed dead after genetic analysis of bodies found in Wednesday's plane crash. Investigators in Russia retrieved black boxes from the crash site of the plane that killed the Wagner chief and 9 others. Russia's aviation agency had previously published the names of the 10 people on board the private jet which crashed, which have now been officially confirmed by Russian investigative committee. According to its results, the identities of all 10 deceased have been established and they correspond to the list published in the flight manifest. The victims include several senior figures in the Russian mercenary group Wagner and involved in military operations in Ukraine, Syria, and parts of Africa. And that's all we can take for the news second hour here. Thank you very much for sticking with us. Do stay tuned. We've still got plenty more coming your way, especially that very special delicacy we have being prepared inside of the kitchen. We'll be back. Now, it's our final segment. No, not our final segment. We actually have one more after now, but this is for motivation. And joining us today for motivation is Olabisi Olubenga, the Inspirer. That's what he's called. He inspires individuals to be more so they can live and lead better. He's a certified speaker, trainer, and also coach with the Maxwell Leadership Certified team. You are welcome, Olubenga. Good to have you here again. We've been talking about leadership as a series the past couple of weeks, and today we want to talk about leadership itself. Leadership is something that you can't do or execute without influence. So I'd like us to go into that now. Building that influence, creating it, keeping it, sustaining it. What are the processes? What do we need to know about leadership itself now?
Now, that's spot on. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Like John Maxwell would say, who is, of course, the topmost when it comes to leadership, because he has written so many books about that. He's an authority because he's an author.
Exactly.
But leadership is how you influence people. You see, the thing is, sometimes we want to move people to do things by force, we want to manipulate people to do stuff, but the truth is the best way is to lead them by influencing them. And if you influence people, then people don't follow you because they have to. They follow you because they want to. In other words, they give you permission to lead them. And that's very important. Sometimes people want to force their leadership on people, but you don't need to do that. You get people to the point when they can follow you because they want to follow you. So let me just talk a little bit about how do you then develop this influence. I think the first critical thing, most people will not like that. The first critical thing, of course, we all love it, but somehow we don't do it, is trust.
Trust.
It's trust, because it's if I meet you, there are 3 questions I want to ask. I want to ask you, do you care for me? I want to find out if you will help me. Then I want to find out if I can trust you. Now, you may care for me, you may be able to help me, but can you trust me? If I tell you if you tell me you want to do this for me, can I really be sure that you will do it? Or is it just that you just raise my hopes and then you leave me there? So I want to be sure that I can trust you. And that comes when you and I are able to consistently show up in our values. What are the values that drives your life? Because you see, if you do this today, you do this tomorrow, then I'm not too sure what's going to be. I mean, I tell people often that if you make a public commitment and you don't keep it, how am I sure that you keep a private commitment between the 2 of us? So I need to be sure that you have your values and they are consistent. I need to be sure that you are consistent in the way you behave. That is not that I see a difference today, I see a difference tomorrow.
Very interesting there now. What you're talking about is relationship between leader and individual. When you lead, however, you are often the leader of a group of people. So does that mean that I must first establish relationship with every single individual in my group before I can gain each and every trust of their trust and then be a good leader?
Fantastic question, but truth is, how you lead one is how you lead all. So if you lead one well, it spreads. People see it. I don't need to meet you for me to agree that you can be my leader. But the thing is that by the time you do it with some other people, the word begins to spread. I mean, we call Mandela the leader of Africa, so to speak. We didn't meet him.
We didn't meet him.
But we saw that consistency in his behavior,
Yeah.
and we began to believe, and we could trust him that, okay, this man will do what he said he will do.
So how do I rise from a group and be trusted as a leader? Because it's first of all, it's always very parallel. And then you perhaps are singled out to lead the group. How do I manage that process?
When you are singled out I think I said something here, and that is the fact that how you lead one is how you lead all. When you're in a group, it begins to show. Sometimes the leader is not the one who is ahead. Sometimes somebody who has influence, you know, because, I mean, there's a law that says that when A.F. Oton speaks, everybody listens. That means he's the leader. You know? So you can be in a group and the person at the bottom is the one who speaks and everybody listens. That makes him a leader because he's the one who charts the course for everyone. So anybody can steer the ship, but a leader is the one that charts the course. So he's able to chart the course. By the time you're in a group and then you begin to show those leadership characteristics, naturally people begin to look up to you as a leader. They come to you for information. They come to you for... So you come out. By the time you come out, of course, what you are doing in private, you can easily bring it out in public and it goes.
Is there any advantage to the one person who is actually most influential in a group but chooses not to be at the forefront as a leader but still has and manages that influence very well to the advantage of the group? Is that a good thing or is it to their disadvantage?
I would say it's a very good thing. I love, you know, I talk about the 360-degree leader. And one of the things I love about that is I love it when you lead without really being seen. It's fantastic because the truth is that people would be attracted to you. They follow your lead. You're influencing them to do things that they didn't know they could do before. In other words, you're empowering them. You're helping them to become more. That's just it. You don't have to be in the front. There's a lot of advantage actually if you're not in the front. Doing it from the back, it's very, very...
There's no bullseye on you. I'll put it that way. Now let's talk about sustaining that leadership because we've all seen it happen where leadership begins to wane or atrophy or erode. How can you preserve against that?
The way to preserve against that, I think, would be to do this one thing. Add value to people.
Add value to
Add
people,
value to
not to yourself.
Not to yourself. Well, it's actually the value you add to people is determined by the value you add to yourself. Because really, if you don't become something, you can't make me that thing. So you keep consistently adding value to people. See, the more you add value to people, the more you make people better, not bitter, the more people will keep staying with you. So consistent leaders are those who are able to consistently add value to people. And it begins with, like I said, them adding value to themselves. How do I add value to myself? I must be in an environment of growth all the time. See, some people want to be in a room where they are always the best of the room, but that's the wrong class. You need to be in a room where you are being challenged. You need to be in a room where growth is encouraged, where you are being pulled forward.
Yeah.
So you keep growing. So I sit here, I learn here, and I go and I dispense somewhere else, but I look for somewhere else where I could also learn from. And I think leaders who sustain leadership are also leaders who are able to listen. Now, that's tough because a lot of people think that if I'm the leader, then I should be talking. But actually, leaders should eat last. So leaders should listen or speak last. They should listen more and speak last because then you're able to understand what's in the people and you can bring it out. That way you sustain your leadership.
Mr. Olugbinga, that's fantastic. I've learned from today's session here, and we're rounding everything up today. Fantastic. I've really enjoyed the entire month of August and you being here every single Monday. And we can't wait to have you back again maybe a couple of months from now. Thank you very much for your insights into all of these very interesting wisdom that you've given us.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that you've learned plenty yourself out there. Thank you very much for being a part of the series all month long. Finally, the end of August, we'll bring you something else next month. But not to worry, it's only still the start of the week here. We've still got more, especially inside the kitchen, and one final guest for SME. We'll be back.
Thanks so much for staying with us. And trust us, it is worth it. Especially when you have guests like the one coming up next. right here on the couch with us. For SME this morning, we have an amazing person. Her name is Kemi Lewis. Now, she is a natural hair expert, and over the last 10 years, she has been business development manager, legal personnel with over 2 decades of experience. But then she also holds a diploma in hairdressing from Oprah Benson Beauty Training Institute and an international certification from L'Oreal. Founder and creative director of Kale's Natural Beauty Bar, Kemi Lewis is in the building. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I am excited about this because there has been a new trend of, I'm calling it a trend now, but over the past, let's say 5 years, the natural hair trend just became a big thing. And, you know, people were even calling other people out if they ever heard that they were going to essentially perm their hair. But when you started this journey, perming your hair was the in thing. Talk to us about how it was in the beginning.
So thank you for having me, first of all. In the beginning, how was it? It was a little tough. Tough because I had recently gone natural or returned natural myself, but it was still a growing, you know, there was a growing community, so to speak, here in Lagos. So it wasn't a very popular thing. So most salons, you know, all salon stylists, they really didn't know what to do with natural hair. They didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know how to treat it. They didn't know how to style it professionally. So it was a bit of a challenge, you know, and I noticed there was a growing trend or a growing number of people in Lagos who were also returning natural because there was a global awareness about, you know, returning back to your roots and the harmful effects of chemicals that we were putting on our scalp and how it was being absorbed into our bodies and the health effects that, you know, that had. So, yes, that all sort of culminated into me starting
a movement, essentially.
It actually is a movement.
Yeah. When I say movement, I mean this is you taking on companies that are making millions of dollars from hair relaxers, essentially. Now, they still do make their money, but I know that a lot of their annual, you know, sales dropped over the past 5 years at least. But then let's talk about how you structured the business. Before you could have called it a business, you actually had to have trained stylists who knew what to do. So talk to us about that.
Oh, yes. So let's delve right into it. That was probably one of the earliest challenges, was finding the skilled staff to do what it is that I wanted them to do. But considering the fact that, you know, my background was legal anyway, but I'd always loved to do hair. So what I decided to do was train myself first and then train the people that I wanted to employ in the business. And that's what I ultimately did. Because, you know, in Nigeria, at that time anyway, there weren't any, I couldn't say I'm going to X place to go and find skilled staff, you know, where, you know, people were being trained to get, you know, in natural hair specifically.
Wow.
So, but that has always been that way, where I was, you know, hire people and then train them myself with the sort of skill that I wanted.
So this is one-on-one training, hands-on, you know,
hands-on
and
training.
then even the people to train them on, the customers that would let you even train staff on their hair. That's another journey entirely.
Oh, it is. So, I mean, thankfully, and this is one thing that I wanted to do. At the beginning, I had said to myself that I would start on a very small scale, so that whatever mistakes I made would be made on a small scale. I didn't want to start on this massive scale, not that I even had the cash, but I didn't want to start on this massive scale and then make so many mistakes, and then it would be much bigger than.
So what staff strength are we talking about right now?
So I started off with 2. At the moment, we've got about 50.
Oh, wow. 50.
Yeah.
50, what do you call them? Do you call them hair professionals, stylists?
Okay, so 50 is a combination of stylists, of you know, head stylists, admin staff, you know, and all of that, janitorial services.
So now I know that your offering is a wide range of things. Can you give us an idea of what you offer entirely?
Okay,
At
so
Kale's Natural.
At Kale's Natural. So we started off with just the salon. It was a 2-seater salon. So we have, of course, the salon services, which is you come in, we pamper your hair, we treat your hair, we help you. We have quite a number of people who really don't know how to, take care of their hair, who have hair growth challenges, and we help them with that.
Okay.
We also have a training arm where we actually train stylists who want to learn how to become natural hairstylists. Or who are already stylists and they want to, they want proper knowledge on how to do natural hair.
Okay.
We also have products that we retail to people that need those products. So
Is this natural hair I'm seeing on the screen?
Oh, that is all her hair. That is also all her hair.
This is all her hair
That
too?
is all her hair
Wow,
too. So yes, we just help to nurture because, a lot of us growing up didn't know how to, we didn't know anything about our natural hair because we all grew up with relaxers so early on. So
I remember the burns. Behind my ears, on the back of my neck.
The crown of your hair.
Yeah, even in front. If you didn't have that burned, scalded look, you hadn't permed your hair.
And it's unfortunate because now this has now led to a whole, slew of other problems. You now have a lot of women, in their 40s and 50s who have alopecia, who have, because they've got scarring on their scalp from, years of burns, so they can't grow hair in those areas anymore.
Wow.
So, thankfully now we know better. So since we know better, we will do better. So it's just teaching people how to care for your hair, how to nurture your hair, because at the end of the day, this is the hair that is growing out of your scalp. This is how you were born. So it's just, nurturing, growing, just loving on it.
So now, so we know that, yes, as an industry, the hair industry is worth billions of dollars. But then when you think natural hair, you don't really think of that many products to put in it that are not just maybe naturally, locally sourced. You think of shea butter, you think of coconut oil, you think of, locally sourced things like that. Where is the money? That's the question. Where is the big boom? Oh, yeah, that's the money. What is that aspect of your business that is really bringing in the most revenue?
So I mean, let me speak for my business because I can't speak for everybody in the industry. My business, for now, maybe about 50, 56, 60%.
Okay.
It's from services.
Okay.
But products are a huge thing. Even though you've mentioned shea butter and coconut oil.
Yeah.
Those are just ingredients. Now you have so many cosmetic formulators. What the industry, what the movement created was an avenue for people to express themselves. So there's so many different expressions within the industry. You have cosmetic formulators, you have people who do extensions, who do even natural hair wigs, who provide services, bridal hair services. Because now you have so many brides who are wearing their own hair for their weddings. So it's created an amazing avenue for many different people to just express themselves in many different ways. So if it's not in the service area, it's definitely in the product areas. You have and there's some, I have to say, amazing natural, Nigerian natural hair brands, out there, So yes, it could be many different things for different people.
I'm thinking now there's, one or two people that have probably been thinking of doing something similar, or at least starting a journey in this business. And they're wondering how best to start. Now, how you started might not be how they start, but what is your advice for someone who wants to start small?
First of all, know exactly what it is you want to do. I'm a firm believer in getting your hands dirty. So don't be the person who wants to start something and you just want to have it there, and it's running on its own. Sort of get your hands into everything that's going on. Never stop learning. Find somebody who you can speak to, who you can sort of attach yourself to, so you can learn from their mistakes. You don't need to make all the mistakes. And I promise you there's so many mistakes that can be made, but you don't have to make all of them.
Okay.
If you just find somebody who's been in the game and you can just sort of attach yourself to them and just learn from them.
Okay, so learning from them, essentially get trained.
Pretty much.
Properly trained to do this.
Yes.
But it's not a bad idea to come into the business. It's not as saturated as it seems right now.
It is pretty saturated. So at the moment, if you want to come into this particular, the business, you definitely have to find a way how you can set yourself apart. What will be your unique selling point? What will be your competitive advantage? What is it that people will think of when they think of you. So you just want to, don't just rush into it for the sake of rushing into it. Just, set yourself apart in some way. Just find out what resonates with you and the people in, an area that you think needs a special skill, service, or something.
Okay. But let's backtrack a little bit on some of the challenges and mistakes. You mentioned the term mistakes. Can you give us maybe one or two of those mistakes that you think people should avoid?
The first one for me was wanting to do everything by myself.
Okay.
This was my baby. I was like, my first business. I wanted to do everything. So I wasn't delegating early on in the business. I was doing so many things by myself. And ultimately, what that meant was things began to fall, through the cracks. I was making, orders were being dropped here. Somebody would place or make an appointment, and I would forget to write that down because I was doing something else.
Okay.
So you don't have to make that mistake. Find somebody, who you can train and just work with you, who can do as many of the administrative, tasks. So you don't have to do that. And then the second one for me, let me see. Second mistake was working in the business all the time and not on the business, so that I try and get some structure in, so that you don't always have to do the same repetitive things yourself. You can actually take a step back, think, and then actually build a proper business that can last.
I have to say a big thank you to you, Kemi Lewis in the building from KL's Natural Beauty Bar, one of the Nigerian pioneer natural hair hubs. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. We are inviting you to join us in our kitchen. We have a very unique offering for you today. Chef Jide has prepared something he likes to call Eba. Yeah, okay. Fantastic. We are back in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. And we said we would do it, and we did it. And I'm saying we. It's all Chef Jide. He has Eba kebab on display here, and it looks great. Is it just me?
Sweet chili sauce.
With the chili sauce, you want to remember to add that as well.
He made the sweet chili sauce right here, by the way.
Really?
He made it right here. It's not bottled. It's not the stuff you buy in the supermarket. This was made right here.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you see that? That's interesting. So please,
And give us your feedback.
Kales, please
Okay.
have a taste.
So I guess I dip that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, dip.
Let me just take one out.
Okay, you want to take one out and dip it?
Dip.
This is going to be interesting.
Nothing like Eba, yeah?
What do you think?
Interesting.
Very
Interesting. That is the term I was looking for.
I
Interesting.
actually don't even taste the gari.
Nope.
You can't taste the Gary.
What are you tasting?
What do you exactly?
Like, let me have another one.
Okay.
So I can taste the flavors, sausage, with some vegetable.
Yeah. What else is in there?
You taste the bananas.
There's banana in there.
Or is it plantain? Which is it?
Very, very mild. I don't.
Mild banana.
So there's nothing that's overpowering. But I don't even taste. It doesn't taste like gari.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is
Right?
interesting.
A really good balance.
By the way, it's his design. I mean,
Yeah.
find
It's
it
actually designed
somewhere
for this event. When I was coming down, I was like, okay, let me do something
Different.
different.
Fabulous.
I've not done before.
did give
or
us
I've not anybody done before. And
This is definitely a first here on Wake Up Nigeria. We would love for you to try it out at home if you dare. Eba
So if you
kebab.
what you do with your gari, besides soaking it or making
Yes,
or
so-
using ogbono soup all the time.
Yeah.
I still put this one. You can use this one with ogbono.
Or you want to get
No way.
or you want to get your kids to eat vegetables. This
Yes,
might be the
exactly.
way.
yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
At
So
this
thank
point.
you so much for being a part of the show today. Thank you indeed. We appreciate your watching. Thanks to all our guests. Thanks to everyone who has contributed. Thanks to the crew. Thanks to you, Chef Jide.
Yes, so-
Amazing invention there.
Yes, so-
well, hopefully you join us tomorrow bright and early 7 a.m.
Please do.
Until then, bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.